I was just saying.
College Algebra brought to you by Sam, Aric, Taylor, and Briann.
Ladies and gentlemen, our top story tonight, Chapter P, Test C. We now go to Taylor Mann.
Thank you, Aric. I'm standing outside of Clinton Massey High School here where 4 students have taken the L in College Algebra. Welcome back to Channel 204. I'm here with Briann today to talk about the breaking news of Chapter P, Test C, number 1. Briann?
As you can see, the students made the computational mistakes of not putting all of these numbers in the correct categories. Natural numbers are counting numbers starting with 1, whole numbers are counting numbers starting with 0, integers are positive and negative numbers on the number line, rational numbers have either repeating or the decimal point will stop, and irrational numbers, the decimal point never stops or repeats.
We now move on to Chapter 1, where it appears that our colleague, Sam Rice, has got the number 16 correct, and I don't think we did.
No, we did not.
Sam, would you like to explain?
Okay, so the most common mistake on number 16 was the students left it just like this when they should have multiplied it down. And crap. Alright, you can see here that the mistake with number 16 on Chapter 1, most students didn't simplify this, and they just left it as 10i times 3i with square root of 2, when they should have multiplied the I terms together to get 30i square root of 2.
Developing story, Chapter 2, when it all went downhill for me in this class, as I can speak for many others as well in this class. We will go over 8 and 9. Taylor Mann has the story.
Okay, thank you, Aric. As you can see today, we're going to go over 8 and 9. These was just like a 2-part question. So as you can see here, people have made the little mistakes of not adding in the extra terms, so it's causing everything to just blow over into a huge wreckage. As you can see here, the right answer should have been g of 6 is 25, and g of x plus 2 should have been x squared plus 2x plus 1.
I know that I speak for this whole class when I say that Chapter 3 was the most awful thing that has ever happened to me in my lifetime. And I know that Taylor feels the same way. I believe Sam feels the same way. I know that Briann feels the same way, considering the luck we've had in this class. So, without further ado, Briann.
As Aric said, we all did have problems with this test, and this is our second time taking it. And they give us the function f of x is 2x cubed plus x squared minus 8x minus 4. And we are to identify the zeros by grouping, identify the number of turning points, and create a table with sufficient points. This is our table that contains the sufficient points as we plug in -2, 1, 0, 1, and 2. Here we just group the terms together and then we simplify and factor. We take the number with the highest degree and subtract 1, and that gives us our number of turning points. And we get x equals plus or minus 2 and x equals -1/2.
Hi guys, I'm back here today. Aric is currently taking a leave of absence in the bathroom. He decided to drink all my coffee this morning, so pardon me if I'm tired. Today we're going to go over to Chapter 4. Looks like graphing rational functions and asymptotes here. As you can see here, the whole entire paper has been crossed out. So, without further ado, let's go over to Sam here to talk about the rational functions and asymptotes here.
Now, as you can see, this is Chapter 4, Question 12, and we have to find the coordinates of the given hyperbola. Most students messed up when they were completing the square, which in turn messed up the entire rest of the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to keep the ball rolling here with Chapter 5, number 11. I don't know about you, Taylor, but Chapter 5 was not a good test for me.
No,
I didn't know this.
Wasn't for me either.
I believe I missed a day and I took big L's.
Yeah, L's everywhere
all
today,
week.
so.
So maybe we can have Briann help us out. Briann?
As you can see on Chapter 5, Question 11, we are condense each logarithm. Many students would write the log base 8 2 times, but when we're condensing, you only write it once, and you use the fraction out front to find the root of what you have left over here in the parentheses, and then you have y to the 7th power left over.
Alright, as you can see, this is Chapter 6, Question 2. We have to solve each system by substitution. we have to substitute these two equations with each other, but since they don't have any like terms, we have to multiply it, the top by 2 and the bottom by -3. Where most students went wrong is they multiplied this by a +3 and not a -3, so the signs were different. As you can see over here, we have 6x plus 2y equals 32, subtracted by 6x plus 9y equals 12, which gives you 11y equals 44, and you would divide the whole thing by 11, with y equals 4. And then you would plug the 4 in for the y of the top equation, and you get 3x plus 4 equals 16. When you subtract the 4, you get 3x equals 12, and then you divide that by 3 to get x equals 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will conclude our stories tonight with the L of college algebra with chapter 7. Ms. Brown helped us out a lot with this, as she is very familiar with matrices. Thank you to Mrs. Brown. And now we will move on to number 4. Any comments, Taylor?
No, but just that chapter 7 was probably the best chapter I've seen so far in here. So that's probably going to conclude our story tonight.
Yet to
Sam.
take chapter 8 test.
Yeah, so.
It's probably a good thing we're not doing that in these autopsies, because we wouldn't have a question to go on because we all get them all wrong. So, without further ado, Sam.
All right, this is chapter 7, question 4, and we are given matrices A, B, and C. We are supposed to find the answer when you multiply B and C together. To multiply matrices, you take the row and each column, and you multiply them together, and then you add the answer. So you would do 9 times -2 and -3 times 21 to get -18 plus 21, and so on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a brief wrap-up of the college algebra test autopsy project. Computational mistakes with 103 taking the dub is computational mistakes. That would be 66%. Conceptual, meaning you just didn't know how to do it. Computational, by the way, means dumb mistakes. I'm very experienced in that line of work. Computational, just didn't know how to do it with 44 and 28%. Comes in a close second. Error communication, 9 votes, only 5%. Error reasoning, didn't even make it on the board because they're bad. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm here with Kelsey DeBlanc today, talking about college algebra. We're here to interview her today. Kelsey, what do you expect in college algebra next year?
I think it's going to be hard because I suck at math.
Do you expect like any certain things? Have you been preparing your year at all for college algebra?
I think that it'll be fine because if I need help, I'll just ask for extra help because I'm not very good at algebra. I'm better at geometry.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. She thinks it's going to be easy. We really only having 2 minutes now. I have the same attitude. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our story for today. Thank you and good night.